right, on this episode of Project Big Screen, we got Sam Raimi's Send Help, Rachel McAdams, Dylan O'Brien. People are loving it. Did we like it? We got The Wrecking Crew, a streaming movie with Jason Momoa and Dave Bautista, and then the top 10 most annoying characters to be stuck on a desert island with. All that and more coming up on Project Big Screen. All right, Project Big Screen, episode 18, 1st of February. January comes to a close. A really good month of January in the movie space, and we have one of the better ones. I think there's probably two that stand out, and I think we have one of the two this week. We'll be reviewing Send Help, Rachel McAdams, Dylan O'Brien, and then a streaming movie, The Wrecking Crew. Talking about a bunch of other movies, too, because I know we all saw a bunch of little things in theaters this past week. There's another movie that's kind of burning up the box office that maybe we should have reviewed, but I didn't see it coming. We'll talk about all that and more. It'll be ranking most annoying movie characters to live on an island with in honor of Send Help. But first, let's talk about that movie, Send Help. Two colleagues become stranded on a deserted island. The only survivors of a plane crash. On the island, they must overcome past grievances and work together to survive, but ultimately it's a battle of wills and wits to make it out alive. Dylan O'Brien is the heir to the CEO throne of his company. Rachel McAdams promised a promotion, doesn't get it because she's, in the eyes of Dylan O'Brien, stinky and ugly. Just disgusting. And then that obviously comes to a head when they land on a deserted island. Hour and 55 minutes long. Sam Raimi. First movie that isn't a piece of IP since Drag Me to Hell. Kind of crazy. Damn. Really his first real directorial job since Oz the Great and Powerful, because technically Doctor Strange 2 wasn't his movie to begin with. It was obviously his full job. He didn't come in and save it at the last second. He directed the whole movie, but his first movie that was his from the get-go, since Oz the Great and Powerful, not great. Drag Me to Hell came out in 2009, so his first non-IP since then.
Wow.
Since Obama won. Damn.
Allison Lohman was still a person.
Crazy. I mean,
Remember her?
That is crazy. I don't think I realized it, but it obviously makes sense because when you start to add it up in your head, you're like, okay, he hasn't done anything in that long. Rachel McAdams, Dylan O'Brien, other people in this movie as well, but I mean, it's a two-person movie. 17.5 to 18 million opening, had a big comeback this weekend because early on it looked like Iron Lung, which is the movie I was referring to a moment ago. Iron Lung, which I'm seeing later today after we record this, was going to win the weekend. Kind of an out-of-nowhere, I think, self-funded movie, right, Iron Lung? So, I mean, I think when we see it, we should all talk about it, because obviously it's doing pretty decent for what it is.
I think it cost $3 million to make, which is crazy.
Damn. Stuckman's going to be mad.
YouTubers in it and shit. Crazy. But that one is going to make right around the same amount of money. So this might beat it, but if it doesn't, a pretty crazy win for Iron Lung. Yeah. So we'll talk about Iron Lung based off of a video game, which there's another movie that is based off a video game that's in theaters right now that Klemmer and I are definitely going to talk about at some point later on in this episode.
Horror movie too.
But Send Help, 93-88% split around Tomatoes, pretty high. 7.3 IMDb, 76 Metacritic, 3.5 Letterboxd. Klemmer, I'll start with you. Send Help. What'd you think? What'd you give it?
I guess I'm at an 82. I like this a lot. This is a fun ride. Just this is so Sam Raimi that I had to double check to see if he wrote it. I don't think there's ever been a movie made that's more up his alley than this, and he delivers. This works so well because of Raimi and also because of McAdams and Dylan O'Brien, who have just this a fun chemistry between the two. They're both obviously really good actors, and then they just work really well off of each other. So you have great casting. The desert island is fun to look at, obviously. It's beautiful landscapes. And then you have the horror, comedy, thriller, also modern office politics all mixed in. And it ends up being a really good movie, which is the second really good movie we've had in January, which I don't know how many Januaries you can say that. 28 years later, Bone Temple was fantastic. I had this just a little below it. So, but I mean, to get two movies that quality in January is such a treat. I don't know. I enjoyed the hell of this movie. Definitely worth watching.
Yeah, he did not write this movie. The last one he wrote was Drag Me to Hell. Did not write Doctor Strange, obviously, came on that late. Did not write Oz the Great and the Powerful. The Great and Powerful, excuse me. Before that, he wrote Drag Me to Hell, Spider-Man 3, and before that, he hadn't written a movie since Hudsucker. So it's kind of his career is kind of wild when you like look at it. It's like
It is.
To me, he's a guy. To me, it's like, oh, that's a guy that directs and writes everything he does, but just not the case. Okay, 82. Kenjac, what'd you give it?
Yeah, I think to sort of set the stage on this one, I had a surgery on Thursday, right? And long and short of it, I got a rubber tube put in my ass. And I was the last thing, if I go and I sit down and I watch this movie on Saturday and it sucks, I'm going to fucking sewer it because I have to sit down 2 hours with this in my ass throughout the entire thing. And luckily, not the case. To me, this is an 85 out of 100 movie. It's Horrible Bosses combined with Castaway, which is like a concept that should not work whatsoever, but it does. I think the setup is really smart. Dylan O'Brien is like the perfect Nepo kid casting. He's a really funny actor, by the way. We've interviewed him before a long time ago, but like,
yeah, he was great.
Really good in like the other two. Really good in Curb Your Enthusiasm. Really good in like every. What was the movie with Haley or Zoe Deutsch that we interviewed him?
Not
for?
okay.
Yeah, Not Okay. Really funny in that. Super good actor. A really good actor. And Rachel McAdams. I think when you think of her as an actress, maybe 2 years ago, you tell me you're going to have a movie where she's going to carry a horror movie and be thrilling and engaging, and you're going to be like scared by her. I don't really totally believe that she's a good actor. I don't know if I'd buy into that. She does. I think that this movie also does a really good job of like kind of lurking in the gray between sort of like giving you two characters where like you're supposed to very clearly hate one and then you're supposed to kind of hate the other one too. And I think it does a really good job of like kind of like pushing that out throughout the pace of the movie. Really enjoyed it. And I think this has been noted by a lot of people. I think you just noted too, Klemmer. Like Raimi's having fun again. And I would love to see 100 more movies by Raimi like this, where he's just having fun, goofing off, making horror comedies that like kind of like blur that line really well, like, which I feel like he's like one of the first guys to really, really do that in the newer fashion with Evil Dead. But like I love it, man. He's one of the few guys that gets that balance more than anybody. And I really, really enjoyed this. One of the, like, I would agree with you, Klemmer, one of the best Januaries we've had in a long time. Really, really good stuff so far.
Kenjac, we are going to, by the way, start an agenda because there is a comic book movie coming up called Batman that is supposed to be directed by a man named Andy Muschietti. We need to get him the fuck out of the building and get Sam Raimi in that door. I need him to be directing the DCU Batman. I need him.
That'd be wild.
I forgot about Muschietti because he's just James Gunn's guy. James Gunn just loves him for whatever reason.
Yeah, he fucking loves Muschietti.
One of the first things Gunn said when he took over is he's like, The Flash is one of the greatest comic book movies I've ever seen in my life. And then it was just the biggest pile of dog shit. So he's just
I think I'm the only person in the world who likes that movie. I like The Flash.
It's one of the best comic book movies of all time.
No, but I did like it a lot.
One of the top,
I'm like alone in that island. But
one of the top 20 comic book movies of all time.
I don't know. I'm doing the show with Robbie, so maybe we'll get there. I don't know.
There you go. You have the story.
2028.
Yeah.
I'll jump off from there. I gave this an 80. I have it right below 28 years later, The Bone Temple, but like right neck and neck. Different kinds of horrors, but I think executed both just in joyous and fun ways, despite how fucking evil these movies are. Yeah, like you guys said, classic Raimi. You have, well, it opens up basically the same exact way as Drag Me to Hell, which I found interesting that he didn't write this one, as you said, Jeff, but did write Drag Me to Hell. I mean, it is like almost mirrored. But I love the opening because it moves so quickly. It's 10 minutes, but it establishes like every single thing you need to know. Build your relationship with Rachel McAdams, which you have to like, that's a tough task in that first 10 minutes to be like, Rachel McAdams is gross. She's disgusting. Look at this tuna fish. Look closely at how disgusting this tuna fish is on the corner of her mouth. Those zoom shots were just disgusting. And so he has a lot of stuff like that. The zoom shots on the plane, I love that when the plane is falling apart. The POV shots throughout the movie remind me a lot of The Evil Dead. I mean, it's just so fun and tight and never stops moving, and the twists work every single time. There's a lot of twists towards the back end, which can get really fucking messy and hairy for some people, but it works here. And like you guys said, Dylan O'Brien playing perfectly off of McAdams. Yeah, no, this was a great time, and I would agree. I think this is the best January I can ever remember. Not just this and Bone Temple, but two solid streaming releases, The Rip and People We Meet on Vacation. Dead Man's Wire, I'm hearing, is good. I saw The Moment this week. That was good. We have a lot of good movies in theaters right now.
Primate? I enjoyed Primate.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. I heard Primate was fun. Like, this is crazy. Crazy. For a year that's supposed to be like the best year we've had in a decade, it's already living up to the billing.
Yeah, I gave it an 84. I liked it quite a bit. It's very, very, very Sam Raimi. The editing, the shots, the way it looks. It just goes for it. I really kind of echo what everyone said. I especially just the idea that this movie just kind of gets going right out of the gates, right? And that's why it works, I think. Because here's the thing, with the absurdity of Raimi's stuff, I think it's always better when you have less time to think about it and you're just kind of thrust into the chaos, right? You're just thrust into the story and the characters, and you just kind of buy into it. You buy into this piece of shit CEO guy. You buy into this crazy worker who isn't getting any breaks in life, and is now trying to make the best of this crappy situation. That's easily, to me, why when his stuff is working, it's working, because it's unapologetic. It doesn't slow down. It's a pace that's unlike anyone else really kind of in this genre, because it's also horror, but it's horror comedy as well. And nobody kind of does it better than him. So yeah, I loved it. I thought it was a great time. 84 out of 100, really enjoyable, fun, kind of wacky movie. I'm sure there's definitely an expectation when you go into a Sam Raimi movie of like what it's going to be and how crazy it can be. And it doesn't always work. Sometimes he's had some stinkers, but I think people who appreciate and enjoy just having a good, fun time, I think that's what you're going to get with this. So yeah, 84 out of 100. I really enjoyed it. And we can talk a little more about spoilers now, and kind of how the whole story plays out. And there's some pretty big twists and turns into this, right? Like I never thought there'd be an attempt to like save them, which I feel like subverts expectations of this type of a movie, of a deserted island or like stranded movie. I think that was my favorite part, because I did not see that coming. Because like there are some moments early where like the Rachel McAdams character sees some things that might save them or help them, and he tries to get off the island at one point. But I never thought there'd be like a full on attempt to come get them, which is nice, because it's one of those things you just don't see in these types of movies.
Absolutely. It did have fun kind of playing against the Castaway or even like the Gilligan's Island or any of those kind of things where you have to save yourself. You have to save yourself. It's like, no, these people could be saved a number of ways you see throughout the movie. And Rachel McAdams keeps rejecting it, which is also something you typically don't see in these movies. I really enjoyed that.
As two Survivor, Klemmer, you love Survivor too, right?
I love it.
Yeah. What'd you guys think of her audition tape? Would you have cast her on the show?
I don't know.
Would you have been like, no, get this fucking nerd loser out of here?
Rob, I don't think I think it was fun because I think it's like most Survivor tapes. Like, oh, I can do these things without really knowing who they were, or about themselves. So I think it actually hit the Survivor stereotype casting tape to a T.
Would you rather her or Michael Rappaport? Just speaking of other guys getting reality TV show spots lately.
Oh, terrible. I love Traitors, but God, what a brutal casting he is. What a fucking loser. I loved that. Was just a nice little like relatable like modern day nod too, right? Like it's one of those things where you build in, because again, like these types of stories, right? So often it's like, how does this person know how to do this? How does this person do this? Why? Like, how can they survive? And like, it's a fun, believable, like relatable way to kind of throw in that like element of the character. I wouldn't have fucking thought it. Like really small creative things. So shout out to the writers on that one. That was a great addition. Great idea.
You know what I loved? I loved how it showed her bookcase. You can tell so much about a person if you just look at the books on their shelf in their home. And like it totally identified the character, and also her office cubicle. It wasn't just the survivor stuff or the surviving stuff. It was like how she's always, look at that, Batman, let's go. It was also this optimist. So like she's always like, oh, like all this, like you make a good situation, have a shitty one, and like all that stuff is kind of littered around her cube, around her home. And it kind of explains why the character does a lot of things. I wish more movies were that intelligent to just show somebody's home if you need to show kind of who a person is,
exposition,
as opposed to telling us all over and over again.
Yeah, give them a little bit of development through that. I thought that was really smart. What do you guys think too of? And I think this is kind of like the point throughout the movie is like the power dynamic flip, and then like who you dislike, I guess, kind of flips with it, right? Because like you can't think of a more hateable character than like the nepo kid replacing the meritus person with the frat guy,
right?
Right? That's the most easily hateable person of all time. But then throughout the movie, as that dynamic flips, where she's just having to eat shit the whole time, to now he's having to eat shit, and then you kind of have to like dislike her too. I thought that's such a hard thing to do, to have a movie with two leads that you don't necessarily, or by the end of the movie, aren't really going to like. That's really hard. And I think that was pretty expertly handled by Raimi.
Yeah, and also like it does give backstory, the campfire scene specifically, of like why they are that way,
So good.
but it doesn't at any point vindicate them or let them off the hook. Like they are at the end of the movie, you are supposed to just not like either of these people, but kind of leave having had a ton of fun and still somewhat rooting for Rachel McAdams despite all of that. Like it's very strange, but it works so effectively and makes you honestly think like what he's trying to say.
You know what I liked was that it explained their trauma they had in their life, but it didn't fix it. And that's most people. Most people have trauma in their life, but it doesn't get resolved. And these people both explain that fire. By the way, that campfire scene was fantastic. This is where having actors of this quality just elevate something like this. That was so well done, so well acted, and then it never got resolved. By the end, I don't know you guys, I was rooting for Dylan O'Brien.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's
Yeah.
so hard, too, because he should be, like, in the beginning of that movie, every other movie, 99% of the time that this movie is made, Dylan O'Brien is the guy you hate from start to finish, right? You should feel almost zero empathy for him. But they make him, like not likable, but you don't want him to get killed. So
No.
like, that's, I think, very hard to do.
Yeah, that I think is another one of the fun mixes, right? It's like it's that ability. We talked about it about kind of recently. We talked about recently like Marty Supreme. It's like that ability to. It's not an easy task, and I think it's kind of cast aside too quickly. That the ability to take a character who should be despised and unlikable, and you should be rooting against, and you kind of have sympathy for them, like that takes a lot of talent writing wise, and that's why. And also, like, by the way, obviously the chemistry between them was off the charts too. That was a big thing. Obviously, if one way doesn't work, this is an absolute disaster because this is like the only two people you really see for most of the movie, the vast majority. So that was a big part of it. But like solid writing, nothing crazy, right? Nothing going to blow you away. But like writing that allows you to get the characters, and that's kind of all this needed. This didn't need anything more than that, right? This is supposed to be a fun horror comedy, and they gave you the nuts and bolts of what you needed the most. And it's like. Like you said, you should hate that O'Brien character, but like you kind of don't because both are kind of written in this perfect way where it's like it's a give and take. Fun.
You
movie.
kind of hate the person in power versus the person you hate the have versus the have not. You know what I mean? And that situation changes through the movie, which I think is smart. By the way, do you think it's interesting that both Raimi and M. Night are kind of having this career renaissance in a way at the same time? Like I feel like in my head they're kind of linked, not totally, but like two guys that had a very specific style of way of doing things that sort of fell off the face a little bit, and then now they're just kind of coming back around the same time.
I think that, and I've thought about this, I think it really speaks to audiences and how much audiences right now want distinguishable filmmaking, which I think really went to the wayside in like the 2010s where franchises took off and you kind of wanted a same feel. Like audiences wanted that sense of universe and the sense of you're seeing something that relates to another thing and this is all happening in the same place. I think audiences really want that Raimi. You want to feel that you're watching a Sam Raimi movie. You want to feel that you're watching an M. Night movie or a Jordan Peele movie or any of our great auteur filmmakers that have really, I think, taken off in the 2020s.
It's a great point, Gooch. Like, look at the movies that kind of blew up last year. It's original filmmaking. Sinners, Weapons. Kind of go through the list of like movies that really had impact. Even like One Battle After Another. I know it didn't. Like, it still did pretty well for box office. So I did okay. Like these are original movies that feel original, that feel unique, that feel like in its own world. And Gooch, maybe you're right. Maybe this is kind of a rebellion against the Marvelized world we had the last decade.
We'll talk about a show in a
really
second. I think Marvel itself is rebelling against that as well. I can't wait to talk about that show.
If they're trying to.
It's sort of like a fight against like this like algorithmic filmmaking where it's like we need everything to test well with everybody versus like finding an audience. And I think that I think is very, very, not smart, but I think it's like a kind of a wave that we're heading towards for sure. People do want to feel less like I'm watching an inoffensive film and I'm watching something that maybe it does offend and I don't like it, but then I go to another thing that I do like. So you find your tribe or whatever in a movie, which I do appreciate.
This happened before. So in the 60s, it was very formulaic. Like filmmaking was very like paint by numbers. You knew when you sat down kind of who the good guy was, the bad guy was, you know how it was going to wrap up. And the 70s was rebelling against that. That's when we got maybe the greatest decade in film. maybe we're getting that again. This is the rebellion against kind of that formulaic filmmaking we had to sit through for so long.
Yeah, it was like, here's 800 Westerns in a row, all doing the same exact thing 500 times over and over again. And all of a sudden in the 70s, like you're saying, it's like, hey, how about we do a real human being story? You know what I mean? Like, or an actual, like, let's do Dog Day Afternoon. You know what I mean? Like something bizarre that you would never watch in a theater in the 60s that you go watch and it's like one of the best movies ever.
So many like movie musicals that were so corny and lame in the 60s. And I like musicals, but these were bad ones. And then you flip that to, like you said, like The Godfather and Deer Hunter. It's like, holy shit.
Exactly.
We're all in the 80s, all between 80, 85. Thoroughly enjoyed Send Help. Fun time. Look, you don't need anything that's going to blow your mind, going to reinvent the wheel, going to, sit there and be an Oscar contender. January, just release a fun fucking movie. Like, right? Just a good time, unapologetic, goes for it. Maybe doesn't have 100% hit rate, but it's just a good, enjoyable, fun movie. So yeah, I enjoyed Send Help. That'll definitely be up there, top 30-ish, top 40 movies end of the year. It's kind of where I had like my 84s last year. So yeah, slots in behind Bone Temple for me. Yep, good time. Next up, we go to Amazon Prime for The Wrecking Crew. These boys interviewed Jason Momoa, Jacob Batalon, who are in the movie alongside Dave Bautista, Klaus Bang, Tamura Morrison, shout out Jango Fett, Stephen Root. Just wanted to throw out Stephen Root. Love Stephen Root. The Wrecking Crew, estranged half-brothers Johnny and James reunite after their father's mysterious death as they search for the truth, buried secrets reveal a conspiracy threatening to tear the family apart. 2 hours and 2 minutes long. For some reason. 74, 66 split on Rotten Tomatoes. IMDb 6.5, Metacritic 67, Letterboxd 2.9. The Wrecking Crew. What'd you give it, Kenjac?
To me, I think this is like a very, and we've had, I think, a couple of these recently, like one of the most 75 out of 100 movies I think you could get. Because to me, it's very like, and I compared it to Bad Boys. I don't think it's on the planet, like the same tier as Bad Boys, but to me, it's very structurally Bad Boys the same way. And that the sink or swim aspect of it is, do Bautista and Momoa have chemistry? And I think they do. And I think that their dynamic is really solid because you let Momoa basically play a hyperbolized Momoa. Bautista gets to play like, if you ever watch like interviews with Dave Bautista, like a hyperbolized Bautista. And I think that their dynamic works, their characters work, and a lot of action comedies get attempted each year. We have to watch a lot of them, and none of them are very good. I don't think they hit the right balance, and I think this one had it down. I think it's pretty damn funny throughout. It has like legitimately laugh out loud funny lines, which however many action comedies get made, I don't think you get a lot of those. Like Fat Jackie Chan, that was a laugh out loud funny line for me. And the hand-to-hand fight scenes are awesome, and I think it embraces ridiculousness instead of trying to be too serious, which I found to be pretty refreshing. I liked it quite a bit. I think if you told me, like when I initially heard about this movie, right? Like here, streaming movie, Momoa, and Wrecking Crew, blah, blah, blah. Like I'm not going to be into that, but I was very pleasantly surprised. This is the same guy, was it Angel Soto that did Blue Beetle, which we all, I think, liked for the most part as well.
Angel Manuel Soto did Blue Beetle and Charm City Kings, yeah. Blue Beetle, the most forgotten comic movie ever released from DC or Marvel.
Listen, I didn't forget that main actress. I'll tell you that much. Good Lord.
Yeah, but yeah, I think he just gets it. Like he gets like hand-to-hand fights. He gets the ridiculous nature of the sort of movie he's making, and I enjoyed that they shot it all in Hawaii too. You don't get a lot of green screen shit, which I except for maybe the highway fight scene, which I liked. So enjoyed it. I don't know if it was good enough for a sequel, but I liked it enough.
They are talking about a sequel because some people did seem to enjoy it. Klemmer, what'd you give it?
I'm at like a 54. This is just dumb. But like the fight scenes were pretty good. I'll say this though, like so there's another movie that came out this week called Shelter. Jason Statham action movie. Yes. Dreadful. Like just a slog, tough to get through. Also weird. You're rooting for a kidnapper. Just a strange movie that's not very good. But it's not fun. This movie at least is fun. Like if you're gonna watch a dumb action movie, you just shut your brain off. And I never say this, stay home and watch The Wrecking Crew. Like that, like don't go to the theaters. Just stay home and watch this because it's just a better movie. It's more fun. I found Momoa to be just so like he's like a cartoon character. It's just so much, and it's just ridiculous. Like it became like where he's like not even a real person, and that was annoying. Especially when I thought Bautista was pretty good in this. The fight scenes are good. The movie's really stupid. I thought the CGI was horrific. There was one, you're talking about laugh out loud moments. I don't know if they were intentional. I laughed out loud when there was a scene supposed to be in Oklahoma, and it's so obviously Hawaii. I laughed out loud at that.
That was crazy. That was crazy, by the way.
I mean, it like took me out of the movie.
The Rolling Hills was a bit much, yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
amazing. Momoa's travel agent's incredible. He has to get to Hawaii and apparently gets there overnight from Oklahoma.
Why not just put him on another island, right? Like it doesn't.
Why not?
I'm in California.
Makes no sense.
California.
But nothing in this movie does.
Yeah.
It's very stupid. Like if you honestly, like if you have a brain, like you're not gonna love this movie. Like you're just not. Like if you have an IQ over 85, you're just not gonna love this movie. You might like it and appreciate it for some of its stupid things, but it's that dumb. But some decent fight scenes.
Gooch, what'd you give it?
Well, I don't want to sound dumb.
You might.
No, so this is like in a weird spot for me where I think this is like a really poorly made movie for the most part, like, and not poorly made in the way that like it's disastrous. I think it's just right in line with a lot of streaming action movies in terms of quality, especially with the CGI and just the way it looks for about 50% of the runtime. Now, what saves it is that other 50% where I think the hand-to-hand combat actually looks great. Like, why aren't you doing that more? You have Jason Momoa and Dave Bautista. Don't put guns in their hands. Don't put guns in their hands. Just let them fucking punch people. Let them punch people and throw people on the ground, tackle them. That's what we should be focusing on. Don't put them in a car and then do one of the most ridiculous scenes. It reminded me of the oil ice skating scene from Argyle. With
That's egregious.
Yeah, like
That's
where it's
egregious.
like, what the fuck is happening here? None of the physics just went out the door for about 3 minutes. Just didn't make any sense. But I had fun with I did really have fun with like their chemistry, any of the hand-to-hand stuff. So it does kind of save it. And I landed at a 45. Like which sounds bad, but in terms of like a streaming
bad.
movie
That's
that
a
you throw on in the
45.
background. But like
That's
a lot of these streaming movies, I put it like 30, 20. Like I don't like this stuff, and I think this is a step above.
I'm here to speak on behalf of this group. When a 45 is a bad score. Like there's no way to cut that
That's
up.
a straight up bad.
It's not horrible though. I see what he's saying.
If the 50 is the median, then 40 is right below it.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on how you view it. I
Not
don't
all
view
of
it
us
that
give
way.
everything a 90.
Yeah,
I'm with
true.
Gooch. Like this is not good, but it's not horrible. It shouldn't be in the 30s or 20s.
I gave a movie last week a 1. Listen, this is
relative.
This is 40
For me,
times
I
better.
mean, it's relative how you view what the media, because obviously I do mine differently, because I mine's almost like a letter grade, but I also see so much
I was
absolute
just say it's for like
fucking
school
trash.
for us. We're like, if I scored like a 45 on a test, I'd be despondent. I'd be like, that's the worst grade I've ever gotten on anything, outside of purposely trying to
But
fail.
this isn't school. Like it's 0 to 100. Like we're
No, I know. I'm just saying, like that's how we
True,
typically.
but you, I mean,
at
to
least
be,
when we did
I
our
mean,
original.
that's how I do it. That's how I do it. Like for me, it's like a C is like 70s, but I do that because I see so much trash. And also, to be fair, you kind of grade things on like a 4-star scale being great, but you still also give out 5 and 5 and 4.5 and 5-star.
rarely, but I do.
So
yeah.
it changed. That my point is it's
Everyone has
relative.
their own skill. I understand what Gooch is saying though, in that like this is not a horrible, like this is better than Shelter. Like there are really bad action movies. There also is bad action streaming. Like this is a level above that. But this isn't good.
Yeah, I hated this movie.
Oh, you yell about my score.
No, I thought you were going to be like, you know what, not bad, 65. But you're only 3 points higher than me, and I really didn't like this movie. I thought I will say, I'll give it credit. I did like the action, and it's kind of a bummer too, because I feel like if they would have just made that like the main thing and not tried to make it more expansive and bigger, like make it a little more confined, and like to me, like doesn't call me crazy. I know Hawaii's beautiful and it's got these crazy landscapes, but I feel like Hawaii also, you can make like a smaller feeling movie just because like it's a smaller area. It's not a big, like I feel like you don't need to make this big sweep. So I do feel like if they would have focused on more of that and like really closed quarters, like hand-to-hand stuff, I actually think it could have been solid. But I'll tell you what, my main issue is, look, I didn't expect this to be, original screenplay nominee or anything, but I did not dig Momoa or Bautista in this. Like, did not land. I prefer Jason Momoa in Minecraft over this movie. Like that.
Me
Like,
too.
I just did not like Momoa in this movie. It didn't work for me. Batista kind of wouldn't too for me. That didn't really land. They like buddy movies are great. We almost did a buddy cop, like a buddy duo list today too, in honor of this movie. Though obviously made much more sense to do Send Help if we all like that. they just like they didn't work for me. Like it just didn't work. Like I see like their chemistry, their like them together, like it did not land for me. Which if it did, I totally get like at least enjoying this. But for me, they just didn't work. Yeah, I didn't really enjoy them. But again, the bummer here is that there was some good shit with because you would think like, hey, I hated this movie, I didn't like this, and if you didn't know anything about it, you'd be like, oh, like that, like the action fighting stunk. It's like no, that actually really wasn't. It did look bad in spots, but like that stuff was the good stuff. Oddly, like that's what worked.
I don't think it's that odd, Jeff. Look at the people involved. Like they're fighters. Like, I mean, Bautista can be a good actor, like The Last Showgirl. But like, what's Momoa gonna bring to the table besides just beating the shit out of somebody?
I forgot.
And I guess throwing tea bags at our wall.
I saw somebody watch Last Showgirl on a cross country flight back to back 2 times in a row. They watched it and they went, they went, man, that weird Jamie Lee Curtis dance scene. I gotta see that again. And they went back and they ran it back again.
It's a great movie. I don't know if I need to see it twice. That's funny.
Jesus Christ.
Can I give a shout out to someone in this movie that I thought was really good and I want to see more of? Mayavi. He was the
Japanese guy?
I believe the Japanese guy that had like the line on his face.
Really good.
Yeah.
Like every time he was on screen, he's like this evil
Sadistic.
like, henchman, like sadistic. Yeah, like it's henchman. And he was fantastic. Like he blew the doors off the actual villain. The actual villain was terrible.
Yeah.
And this guy was great. I would love to see this guy in more stuff. He was like chilling. I guess he's a musician.
Structurally, I did like how they put that together, though, where they had it where, like, Bautista is, like, the more level-headed guy. They had him fight the Japanese psychopath at the end, and they had Momoa, who's the crazy guy, fight the more level-headed Claes Bane character. Then I thought that was structurally cool. I think the big point where I think I differ from you guys is, like, I felt like this was very homage to Michael Bay type of movie making, where it's, like, very, very stupid, dumb action, super hyper-caricature type people that don't exist in reality. And I feel like that was what I went within like the first like 20 or 30 minutes. That's where I kind of landed. I'm like, okay, this is what the type of movie this is, right? I'm not trying to, this isn't like a real, we're not watching like fucking Sicario or some shit. I'm also not watching like some Jason Statham dog shit movie like Shelter or whatever. I'm watching like, this is very comedy, action, hyperbolized everything, hyper violence movie. And I liked it. And I think that's big. I guess like maybe I set the table for myself that way, and that's why I enjoyed it more than you guys.
Yeah, I guess I just didn't like. I didn't find it like it just wasn't fun to me. Like I didn't find anything like they took some comedic swings. It didn't really land for me. I get it. I get why you. I'm not like baffled why you enjoy it. Like I do definitely get that. I get exactly what you're saying.
How many sittings did it take you guys to get through this? It took me 3.
Just one.
No, I mean, I didn't have. I mean, I didn't have a hard time. I had a hard time getting through a movie I saw in theaters, which again we were going to talk about in a minute or two. Klemmer.
Oh, that's a whole different thing. That's a whole. But no, this took me 3. Like stop and stop. I can only take so much of the dumb.
But Batista's on a generationally bad run in the last 2 years. Now, this is his best movie. Kind of by Last Showgirl. So let's factor in Last Showgirl. Yeah. So since Dune Part 2, he's done My Spy, The Eternal City, the sequel to My Spy. For those who aren't big My Spy heads. The MCU, the My Spy Cinematic Universe. The Last Showgirl, which I didn't love The Last Showgirl, but like the acting was pretty damn good in that movie, with the exception of Jamie Lee Curtis. Dave Bautista was good in that movie. I do agree with Klemmer.
He was very good.
Did anyone see The Killer's Game?
Wait, yes, fucking.
Yeah, Sophia Boutella is in it. Terry Crews is in it. Bad movie. Then he was in the worst movie of last year. A movie which every person that saw War of the Worlds, if they would have seen In the Lost Lands, I still think they would have ranked In the Lost Lands below. I mean, it's one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
It's somehow worse than the other movie we're going to talk about later today, which is hard to do.
And then just like straight to streaming or like small release, like Afterburn, terrible movie he was in last year. He was in a movie called Trap House with Jake Champion and Sophia Lillis, terrible. Bobby Cannavale was in it, terrible. And now this is like, I think it's the best thing he's released since Dune Part 2, like along with like Last Showgirl. But he's had some bad movies the last couple of years.
Allow me to say this. He's not that good in Dune. And that's something I feel like people don't like even think about because he's very good in most other things. Like he's obviously awesome as Drax. He's not that good in Dune.
And
like,
his
like
role is also
sometimes distracting.
So tiny too. It's like really,
yeah.
Like it's like it's him just yelling and being angry and killing somebody like that. Like it's a pretty like condensed role. Like it's one of the smaller roles of any of the. I probably would say it's the smallest role of the big people in that movie. Those movies.
It kind of just screams exposition at people. It's like, Father, how could they take this thing from you? And it's it's not really, it's not that good. I don't know, man. Like he's a really good actor. We've seen it, but not in this last like stretch of movies.
He needs to put on the little tiny glasses again.
Yeah,
he does. He does. Yep.
Something about those little tiny glasses unlocked
Kent.
something in his face where he turned into the greatest actor alive for 10 minutes in Blade Runner 2049. He turned into one of the best. It's like one of the best 10-minute performances I've seen from like a celebrity coming in that I'd never like really consumed any of their media before. And I was just like, this guy's out acting Ryan Gosling. Like, what is?
It's a Clark Kent effect, man. Something about it. They're smart guy glasses, little tiny glasses on a big guy.
He just also works too much, I think. Like,
That too.
He's
Works a lot.
He's been upfront about wanting to work with so many directors, and like I think feels that he needs to put in the time as an actor because he, started his career so late in this industry, but he needs to start picking better stuff and really.
But he's booking stuff that like John Cena would book post WWE, like the Marine, and
Right.
shit. You know what I mean? Like he's booking
Before he realized what he was.
Yeah, exactly,
He's 57 years old.
exactly.
So, I mean, he doesn't have a lot of time to be like an action star left. So I can understand why he's trying to max. I just wish he did better things. So I thought he was good in this. Maybe I'm alone, but Momoa to me was just the problem with this. Well, many problems.
The funny thing is, I think Momoa, out of the two of them, has done easily the best thing in the last 2 years. He was in Chief of War on Apple TV, which is a really good
Very
show.
good in that.
Really good show. He's great in that. He's great in that.
He's also much better in Dune than Dave Bautista is. No offense.
Minecraft 2 coming out in 2027, boys. Is Momoa back?
I actually kind of like him in Minecraft. I'll be honest.
I didn't hate it.
Minecraft is
Minecraft's totally fine.
for what it is, and for it was whatever. It was a fun theater experience. It was fucking stupid.
But you know what he was good in? He was the best part of Fast 10, by far.
Yeah, Dante, right?
Dante,
Beast.
gay Joker.
Gay Joker was fucking sick, dude. That was a great role.
I love every reveal in that movie that's a flashback to Fast 5 where they just extended the scene and showed like he was behind the wall the whole time. You didn't know this.
Right there.
He was just off. Yeah, he was just off
Just off
camera in
screen.
Fast 5. You never. They should George Lucas Fast 5 and just put him in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like whatever. I didn't like this, but if you had a good time with this, I'm also I'm not gonna be up in arms over that. I totally get it.
What did you give it?
42. I didn't like them, but if you like them, then I think you have a good enough time with the movie. Like I think it's kind of simple in that sense. Like I actually don't think it's that like. I think everyone agrees. Like it didn't look great. The action was cool. I think if those two land for you, I think enjoy. Like I have no.
You guys agree though? If you love this movie, you're an idiot, right?
I can't imagine many people that are like, I loved The Wrecking Crew.
Yeah, you're
You know what I
probably
mean?
12 if you love
Yeah,
this
yeah,
movie.
yeah. Or just a dum dum. Yeah, that's all right.
The Wrecking
This
Crew.
movie's for everybody. All right.
All right, that's The Wrecking Crew. Send help. We're gonna talk about a couple more movies in a second here. Next week, though, next week's a tough one. They better release some good ass trailers for the Super Bowl because that's gonna be the main thing we talk about. We got Strangers Chapter 3 and Solo Mio with Kevin James. I will say Strangers Chapter 3 is going. What? I think the list next week has to be worst movie franchises because Strangers is like kind of cool. Strangers just. So I haven't seen it yet. Maybe Strangers Chapter 3 has the greatest comeback. Speaking of the Super Bowl, it's like this is the Patriots Falcons 28-3 comeback. It goes from the two of the worst movies ever released in terms of the horror genre, and then the third is unbelievable. Wouldn't that be amazing? I doubt it though.
I'm worried because the only good thing about the two first Stranger movies is that they're very short, like 80 minutes. I'm worried this is going to be long because of the last one.
They're bad.
They're so bad.
The week after that we have a good week after that though. The middle of February is better. You have Worthington Heights, which obviously is getting a ton of buzz and a ton of discussion, and then Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, which we have an interview. Kenjac and Gooch interviewed the director, Gore Verbinski, so we'll have that as well. So we get a week of oof. Solo Mio though, with that all I know about Solo Mio is the marketing campaign with Kevin James.
What about the moment?
Solo Mio? That's the first Angel Studios movie.
I was going to talk about the moment here, but
Is it real?
My theater was packed. Now it's limited release. I think it goes wide next week. Could be worth it. Very interesting movie.
We can squeeze the moment in there as well. We can do all three.
I'm seeing it before we. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to see it before.
I was going to talk about it in a few minutes because I know you saw it, Gooch. It goes wide next week.
Yeah,
we can throw that in there.
Makes
as well.
sense, right?
Got to do Strangers Chapter 3. If any of the two get bumped, it's Solo Mio. But I feel like come on, it's the Kevin James art teacher Instagram TikTok movie. So those are the two main movies. We'll talk about a couple more movies in a minute here because I know we all saw a couple other things, especially one that Klemmer and I are going to talk about. All right, DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 sportsbook for live betting, is making every snap, every drive, every moment of Super Bowl 60 with the Pats, the Seahawks count with DraftKings Live Millions featuring over $5 million in prizes just for live betting. Here's how simple it is. Head to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, opt in, and receive a promo token. Place a live bet of $1 or more on the Super Bowl, and that's it. You're entered. Simple as that. Every live bet means another chance to win. You got a feeling that maybe Efton Chisholm of the Patriots is going to score a touchdown. Jake Bobo, someone you're not expecting. Place a live bet on them. Stack your entries to Super Bowl 60. Once the game wraps, I'll randomly select our prize winners. There'll be more than 100,000 winners. More than 100,000 winners. That could be you. Will you be one of the top prize winners, though? So jump in, bet live, let the entries roll for a share of over $5 million in prizes. And just in general, obviously with the early exit, protection, and all that and more, there's no better place to bet on Super Bowl 60 than DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code BIGSCREEN, BIGSCREEN. That's code BIGSCREEN. Bet live for your share of $5 million in prizes with code in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. News, the big movie news this past week. Terrible news. Catherine O'Hara passed away at 71 unexpectedly. She had some sort of, I believe, was it a heart thing? She had some sort of condition that wasn't, I don't believe, too well known about, and then she was hospitalized the morning of her passing. Pretty shocking. I think she was in the middle or getting ready to film the Studio season 2 for Apple TV. I think she had just been thanked by Seth Rogen like 2 weeks ago at the Golden Globes. Had been in a bunch of other stuff lately. She was in Beetlejuice 2 years ago. Obviously, people love her from Schitt's Creek. She's, I would say, her most iconic role, most well-known role, like mainstream, is probably Home Alone, which is funny because that's so not her. Like that's just not like her, like really kind of out there, crazy, like funny, like, but still like relatable comedic style, whether it be, Beetlejuice or again, whether it be Schitt's Creek or even the Studio, she's like really like out there. She's a great character in the Studio, but like she's known for this like really, she screams Kevin once or twice in each movie, but like it's funny. It's like that role is like not like her like comedic style, I feel like, but that is what people most know her for.
Yeah,
at least
she
across
was
the
great.
board.
I mean, SCTV for years with John Candy, Rick Moranis, Eugene Levy, and that's why obviously later when she did Schitt's Creek. Fantastic. I mean, she was just always working and always funny and always like an entertaining person to see on screen. She also in The Last of Us pretty recently as well. If you want to talk like super recent stuff. But yeah, Jeff, I think you're right. I think like Home Alone's going to be like what, people, because that movie's just going to last forever. Just like It's a Wonderful Life does, because holiday movies do. But I think Beetlejuice is pretty, I don't know if it's still I think it's still pretty much in the zeitgeist. The second one made a ton of money. So I think those two movies are probably what she's going to be most known for, I guess.
Yeah.
You don't think it's Waiting for Guffman?
Waiting for Guffman.
Maybe. If I mean, that shows you how like good she is. She could be funny in a Tim Burton movie, and she can be funny in the Christopher Guest movies. Like, that's not easy to do.
That's range, man.
Yeah.
I do think the Home Alone thing is nice though, because like that is like an immortality of sorts, because that's something that is, since it came out, the most like go-to Christmas movie of all time, basically. Like every single new generation is showing their kids Home Alone. So like you're just there, like you're immortal in that sense. I think that's cool. And I agree with you, Klemmer. That SCTV Toronto group is insane too.
Oh,
like
nuts.
she was holding her own against like Levy, Aykroyd, John Candy, like these insane groups of like incredible iconic comedians from that generation, and like they all loved her. And like that
Rick Moranis in that group too.
Yeah.
And even got it in that time. You had the 70s SNL guys, and then you had the 70s SCTV crew. Like so many talented people all at the same time. And that's why we got so many great comedies in the 80s and 90s, was because from that group.
Exactly. And I feel like she was really coming into like a really amazing like second act too, which is really beautiful too. But she's got the Studio, like you guys just mentioned, so good. And Last of Us, like that role, like I was almost like therapist in an apocalypse. How is this going to work? She was good, and that was a very different sort of role.
Really good.
And sad for Catherine O'Hara and her family.
Yeah, she was married to Bo Welch, who was a production designer who did like Batman Returns. And she met her on the set of Beetlejuice. I think she's been nominated for like 4 or 5 Oscars for production design, and they were married forever from the 80s up until she passed away. So I think she had a pretty great life. Unfortunately, 71 is pretty young, but had 2 kids, worked forever, super smart, loved in the industry, and seemed to be a smart woman that had it all together and was incredibly talented.
Beloved, like widely celebrated and beloved, for sure. So very sad. First look at the Beatles, a 4-film cinematic event from Sam Mendes. You get our first look at all the 4 people, the 4 actors as the Beatles. Harris Dickinson as John Lennon, Paul Mescal as Paul McCartney, Joseph Quinn as George Harrison, and Barry Keoghan as Ringo Starr. Also as Saoirse Ronan, James Norton, Amy Lee Wood, Lou Wood, not Lee Wood, and others. Releases in 2028. 4 movies in 2028. By the way, that is a ways away. I have no idea how this is going to do in theaters, but people seem to at least react to the pictures of what they look like. I think 3 of the 4 look great. Joseph Quinn looks like Joseph Quinn, like heavily like Joe. Like he looks like fucking Eddie from Stranger Things. if we're being honest, but I'm not going to base it off just one picture. We'll see when it comes out. What do you think about the first 4 pictures? Also, does anyone think this is going to not do well?
Really?
I love the Beatles. I love Sam Mendes. I'm going to go opening night to.
I think there's a reason why, though. Do you agree? Do you share the same reason I think?
I just think it's going to be overkill.
4 movies.
I mean,
I think that could end up causing I could see that being an issue.
I've seen anywhere from the same month to the same week they're all going to be released. And that is just, no one goes to the movies 4 times, except for us, 4 times in a week. It just that's just outside of what people typically do. You'll have your loyalists obviously have a go, but like, are people after they see after they see like the John movie, going to go see the Ringo movie? Like, is that going to happen? Like, I don't know. I hope it does well. I'm excited for this personally. I'm thrilled for this. But I think this, and I love experiments like this, but I think economically this is bad.
The real test will be, and I think they end up splitting it out to like 1 a month. Like 1 a week is just not feasible, but 1 a month, if you land the plane on the first 1 or 2, which I would assume they will leave with Paul McCartney and John Lennon. Yeah. Paul or John on the first one. Then you get people, if those are good, you get the excitement and buzz for the Harrison and the Ringo, and people come back for those. But if those are bad, yes. If one of them is bad at the front, it's over, like from the jump. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the question in my head is what the release order will be. I definitely think Paul first in my head, but I think and that assumes that the Paul one is great. And Mescal looks exactly like Paul McCartney, which is crazy. Like,
it's crazy.
We actually talked about this in our chat recently. The only reason the Joseph Quinn one looks bad is only by comparison. Like, you don't need to look exactly like an actor. I completely agree with, I think you had said in our chat. Like, I completely agree. You don't have to look exactly like them. But when the other actors look exactly like them, it makes it a little bit harsher. But I think if I were to say release order, I would say you draw them in with McCartney, and then maybe you just do fucking Ringo. And then you say, like, hey, look, it was good. You got a little momentum. Come see Ringo. And then after that, maybe Harrison, then Lennon. Then I think you end with Lennon because he's probably like the most, I would say, if you're putting out the word cloud for the Beatles, it's like McCartney, then Lennon still. So I would say Lennon last.
Lennon's the most interesting character.
For sure. I wonder if they show everything with Lennon. Something tells me no.
They have to thread a pretty impressive fucking needle on this to make this work. For 4 movies to work. Even a month is pretty... Because, even if they... To consider all 4, like this whole thing a big success, like, I mean, for the most part, you need all 4 to be somewhat successful, right? Like, if 2 are good and 2 are a flop, I mean, that just didn't work. I don't know. I really don't know. I guess if you told me gun to my head, I would bet the side of it being success because the Beatles are the Beatles, right? And like, that should be enough of a hype there. But I don't think it's like this is not a slam. Like I think like the Michael Jackson movie is a slam dunk. Like that's going to do it really fucking well. And
But there's not four. There's not a movie for Tito. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think if you had 4 Michael Jackson movies, I'd be a little more
correct.
concerned.
That's like that is like if this was one Beatles movie, oh, this would be huge. I don't. You're right. I don't. It's like I think the first, no matter what, is going to probably do well because I think of like the hype there, and I think what everyone said, Paul. I think that makes sense. But then it's like I don't know what it does after that. I really don't. It's a cop out to say I don't know. Like I don't have like a real take on it, but it is. Yeah, the fact that I don't know is interesting to me because like I think for the most part you typically on biopics you get a sense of like, oh, there's going to be hype for this. And there's going to be hype, but 4 of them. 4 movies. Cuz I'll tell you what, here's the other thing. If you space them out too much, that could be a problem. Or it's like, all right, we don't give a fuck anymore. Right. It's like I'm not waiting 2 months to see Ringo. Like I'm like that could very well be a problem. Very interesting. I mean, look, it's still a ways away. It's 2.5 years away, almost 3 if these come out late in the year. So
I think they're supposed to come out in April, though.
Okay, they say April, so it's 2 years.
2 years. You know what I'm worried about? You're telling the same story 4 times potentially, a story we already know. Like, are you going to go back to see? I'm sure now. Obviously, it's not going to have this just the same story over and over and over again. But like you're gonna have kind of the same themes, the same basic storylines. I'm guessing 4 times.
You end up with House of Dynamite 2 with just
I know.
Beatles.
Like you're gonna have people like leave their home, spend money, go see like Harrison, which is let's say it's the 3rd one. Like I don't know. Yeah. I will, but would other people?
To put it in perspective, yesterday a movie that is like kind of about the Beatles, not really though. $26 million budget in 2019, made $160 million worldwide. The appetite is absolutely there for the Beatles. Even if like the younger generations want to act like they're not good, like they are still very much interested in them.
I think people will show up. It's just a matter of you're cannibalizing your own profits, you know? Like I don't think that it's just very difficult to rationalize, you know?
Yeah, I will see. I mean, I don't want to doubt it because Sam Mendes is Sam Mendes. He made some excellent movies. Though 3 people saw the last movie he released. Does anyone know the name?
Empire of Light.
Yeah, Empire of Light.
Yeah.
I was one of them.
Stole aside Roger Deakins for that movie. Looked incredible. Not a good movie though.
Beautiful.
But I just, it's interesting. I mean, we've never really seen anything quite like this. So there's nothing to base it on.
Like if they were to release like 4 connected Marvel movies at the same time, like how do you think that would perform? Like let's say it was like an Avengers sort of deal, like ahead of an Avengers movie, they released 4 in the same calendar year, or in the same, let's say 4 months, they released 4 Avengers.
We kind of got that. Well, we didn't get Avengers. We got 3 Marvel movies within a tight window last year, right?
Let's say like it's connected into like a main Avengers movie, like so you get like a Captain America, fucking Hulk, Scarlet Witch, and Hawkeye, whatever, and then like all within 4 months of each other. I don't think that would necessarily be a good release strategy, right? Like even if it was going into an Avengers movie, which this isn't. There's no big movie where they're all connecting, right?
Yeah, I think there's a reason they don't do that because it's not a good idea.
Yeah, it's going to be very fascinating. Again, the bummer on this is that it's so far away, so we really don't know. So we'll see. Very interesting though.
The documentary, by the way, on Apple was awesome.
The what?
The Apple documentary that they had was really good. Was it Peter Jackson, right?
Oh, the one that was
Get Back?
Just off the rooftop was fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so excited for this, by the way, personally.
Yeah, I'm very excited. It's just like, if you want to talk about it, it's a very interesting, like, I don't like being a pessimist on box office stuff, but it is like, there's a couple scenarios here, and I think there's no like middle of the road scenario. Like it's either going to do like gangbusters, and people will be like, "Holy shit, what a concept!" And then there's going to be some dog shit copycat that comes out like 3 or 4 years later. It's like the Backstreet Boys 5, it's like or whatever.
Blink
like,
182,
right?
Blink
like,
182, like
or it's going to be such an unbelievable disaster that there's still going to be 2 movies to be released, and people are like, "What the fuck?" Which then you'll have Kevin Costner being like, "Yep, this is what happened to me with Horizon. Exactly what happened to me."
Yep. Imagine being the actor too. Like, imagine if you're like Harris Dickinson and Mescal goes first and his bombs, and you're like, well, what the fuck? Now I'm screwed because Mescal's was bad, or vice versa.
Yeah.
That'd be pissed.
Ringo's definitely last, right?
But they got maybe the most. Well, I don't know. Who's
In terms
more
of
famous,
box
Barry
office?
Keoghan or Mescal? I guess Mescal probably now, right?
Yeah. Out of this 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joseph Quinn's
Yeah, I
pretty
think the
big,
box
though.
office would be it would definitely be McCartney, Lennon, Harrison. Actually, I don't know. Harrison Ringo's kind of like a tie nowadays, and Ringo might even be ahead of Harrison. I don't know.
Yeah, time has helped Ringo not be the fourth, I feel like, a little bit.
I don't know. I mean, the music of George Harrison's incredible.
Yeah,
Dude,
but
I will say
but
though, I will say drummers love they love Ringo Starr. Like they say, like he's very underrated and he's underappreciated in the drumming.
he also has a very huge leg up on 2 of them by just being alive. That's
helps a
definitely,
lot.
definitely helps
George
him.
Harrison does have like the best post Beatles album.
Yeah.
I'll say that. And I think his story is a lot more interesting than Ringo's.
The Ringo bit in Family Guy was like my first introduction to him really as like a kid. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, I knew the Beatles, but like you in like what is it? They all like Ringo comes over with like the drawings, like yeah, I made this, and they're like, all right, Ringo, we're gonna put this on the fridge right here. Your song for everyone to see. Like it was good.
made a song about an octopus.
Yeah, I made a song about an octopus.
Yep.
Thanks.
Um,
So good.
Fast 11. We just talked about Fast 10 a few minutes ago about Jason Momoa. Fast 11 also coming out in 2028. It's going to be titled. By the way, if you're going to call a movie something, always name it similar to the Batman movie people hate. Fast Forever. What a title!
Do they hate Batman Forever?
Yeah,
I
Don't think
so.
they'll love it.
No.
right.
To tell you
Am I
the
wrong
truth.
on that?
Batman and Robin is the one everyone hates.
What about that's the one with the tunnel when he's in his office and he clicks
I mean,
the button
Batman
and he,
Forever
goes
is
underneath
not-
his desk in the tunnel.
It's not like a beloved movie. Batman Forever is also not good. It's not as bad as Batman and Robin.
No argument here, but I don't.
Yeah.
It was actually
yeah.
well liked.
Fast Forever. What they're going to do, who knows? Apparently, it's going to be a smaller production. They decreased the budget. I will say this every time we talk about this. Reminder: in the last movie, half of the cast died in a fiery plane crash explosion into the side of a mountain. I'm going to take a stab at the fact that I bet they're alive. Somebody tells me they didn't kill off half of the movie, which would be very funny if they did, by the way. If it opens up with like a funeral and they're all dead. Like it's like, holy shit, this franchise went for it. But apparently they're trying to scale it back and go more like street level, which I don't know how you can do that. You were in space 10 minutes ago. But that's, yeah, I don't know. I can't believe it's coming out in 2028, by the way. It's like the gap between the two, whatever.
Bro, Vin Diesel's gonna be like 70 years old by the time this comes out. Like it's such an insane gap. Like these should have been pumped out like one every year and a half. There should not be this much of a wait between.
This should be done already.
Yeah. Well, they lost Lynn, right? Like Justin Lin dropped out, I think, and then they had to go to new guys. So whatever.
Terrible. Just what an absolute fucking disaster. Oscar stuff. This story is crazy. This came out in the California Post, which if you think that sounds made up, it's not. It's just like the New York Post spinoff from Page 6 about the Safdies and their breakup. This is all alleged. I will note that. This is alleged reporting, but we're going to talk a lot about Marty Supreme, Josh Safdie, so I feel like we just have to at least acknowledge it. There is a story about what happened on set for the movie Good Time. There was an actress who was 17 at the time and an actor who was 30. I'll just read exactly what it says, just so I get it. I get it down to an absolute fucking T here. But it's a story about why the two broke up because people didn't really get it, right? Like no one really knew why the two were not together anymore. This is from Vanity Fair. Vanity Fair lays it out. Page 6 Hollywood published a blistering article that questioned the past actions of Josh Safdie, the creative engine behind the Timothy Chalamet dark comedy, Marty Supreme. According to the report, a 17-year-old girl was cast to play a sex worker in Safdie's 2017 film Good Time, which he directed with his brother Benny Safdie. She was asked to film a scene opposite a non-professional actor who allegedly exposed himself to the minor while filming. Page 6 reports that Josh was made aware of the girl's age on the day of production. This is where the issue comes in between the two, shortly after the scene, but then Benny didn't find out until 2022, 5 years later, and that's when the rift kind of began, and then they split. Again, a lot of this and why they are feuding is alleged. They cut ties with each other in terms of filmmaking. They've released 2 different movies this year. Obviously, everyone knows that. Smashing Machine, Marty Supreme. Interesting. From Page 6, Vanity Fair, Hollywood Reporter, everyone's kind of talked about it. But no real confirmation between the two. The two kind of commented on each other's movies a little bit, I believe, in the fall, but very briefly. Like they've been very separated in terms of promotion stuff. Oscar mudslinging happens pretty frequently.
Yeah.
This is up there though. This is a pretty crazy one. Right before the Oscars.
This is
Obviously
old
last
school
year.
Harvey Weinstein.
This is Harvey
like,
Weinstein 101.
mudslinging. This is
Yeah, this
Weinstein.
is yeah. I mean, this makes because remember last year's was
Amelia Perez,
Gaston. I mean, that's the character
Right.
from Sophia. What's her name?
Sofia
from
Carlos Gasson.
Yeah, from Amelia Perez. I almost forgot the fucking name of the movie. There was that controversy. So yeah, it's something that worth keeping an eye on. There hasn't been much progress since that story came out in terms of like how true this is, but it does seem like this came from potentially one side of the aisle here. Kind of a crazy story as to why they broke up, but it would make, I guess, sense because nobody really knew, right?
No, this is kind of the dark side of getting an Oscar nomination.
Wait, did you guys
Yes.
not know this story? Like this
I
is
didn't
the
know it.
This has been around for a long time. Anytime like Robert Pattinson goes viral, you can look underneath the post and like his haters will have like brought it up because this
No,
got
I've
exposed.
seen
I think,
seen this
3
Like,
or 4 years ago.
I just wasn't
'Cause it
sure.
was
I
a
didn't
part
know
of
that
a
this was
lawsuit.
the genesis of like, because again,
Oh, the
it's like
breakup.
it's a
Yeah,
crazy
yeah, yeah.
timeline, right? He did like it's a 5-year gap between this happening and him finding out, but again, it does line up with them splitting up.
I think a lot of it has to do with this producer who's kind of just skating by on all this. Like this guy's an absolute scumbag. Bear McLeod, fucking terrible. He's like pretty much the originator of all the problems here. He's the one who hired the underage girl. He was dating the underage girl.
Ugh.
Fucking insane. Didn't tell them he was supposed to handle all of this and basically fucked them, but they were very negligent in this. I think there's no way to deny that. Were they maliciously hiring underage women and exposing themselves to her? I don't think that happened, but I do think there was a lot of negligence going on. But the producers, I think, where it really comes into play, and I think he was tied up in their deal with Netflix to make that Adam Sandler movie, and I think a lot of the reasons why they
didn't
had
happen,
to split was because of this producer had them tied up, and I think to get out of these deals with him, they had to start making stuff separately. I will say at the red carpet for Marty Supreme, Benny and Josh were buddy. They were hanging out. They looked like brothers who loved each other. I'll just say that much.
Yeah, so there's a lot of like, what the fuck? And obviously, there was that story last week about Chalamet, about one of the guys cast Marty Supreme basically being like hitting with like that you're not that guy, pal. Like I mean, like because they cast these crazy people, and so it's kind of got a bit of a mess on it. But like Gooch said, like they've been on the carpet together, so something to keep an eye on as the Oscars roll around with Safdie getting. But again, it's one of those things. It's like you're right. This is like old school Harvey Weinstein mudslinging. Like, imagine if Jafar Panahi got the Best Director nomination and Safdie didn't. Would this story ever resurface again? I don't know.
Right, I wondered too, or maybe it's just also just done to kind of besmirch the movie. Really good book if you're interested in stuff called Oscar Wars. I can't recommend it enough. It goes through like all the way back to when the Oscars began. This kind of shit's been going on, and it's just fantastic to read about. And apparently it's not going anywhere soon because this is true Oscar War blood. This is great.
Remember when Saving Private Ryan didn't win because Weinstein was like cherry picking war veterans to be like, this movie stinks?
Yep. Piece of shit.
Crazy.
Not for that specific reason, but like that's the bottom of the list of reasons why he's a piece of shit. But it's up
That
there.
has its own chapter in this book, by the way. The Shakespeare in Love, Saving Private Ryan thing. That's how bad that got.
The actually, I was at my. Funny you say that movie. I was at my friend's yesterday, and they were on some platform putting on a show for Netflix. I think it was Netflix putting on K-pop Demon Hunters, and it was all kids stuff. And one of the suggested titles must have broke the argument was Shakespeare in Love. I'm like, I don't know if that one. I don't know if that one lands in this lane. In a much different controversy, only 2 songs are being performed at the Oscars this year, and boys, They fucked over Our Lady. They screwed over Diane Warren.
Diane.
She will not be singing the song about herself from the movie about herself. A real crime. The two songs being performed are going to be obviously Golden from K-Pop Demon Hunters, which is going to win the award, and then I Lied to You from Sinners. So Sweet Dreams of Joy from Viva Verde, and then Train Dreams from Train Dreams, and then Dear Me from Diane Warren, Relentless by Diane Warren will sadly not be performed.
Can we
Seems
talk
kinda
about the quote she
unfair.
said too? Where she's like, yeah, I'd actually love to make a movie with Chris Nolan or Denis Villeneuve or whatever. She's like, yeah, I'm sure you would like to make a movie that actually exists, like make a song for a real movie and have a chance at actually winning.
Imagine
an
her
Oscar.
just lurking on the Oscars red carpet as these directors walk by, and she's like, "Hey,
Yo,
you busy? What are you doing next year? Got any movies coming out?" Yeah, it's
I
a
don't
little
like
messed
musical
up.
numbers. This isn't fair.
But the alternate is they don't perform any of them, which has been a thing that's happened
Well, no, the alternate is they perform all of them.
recently. Yeah, but I'm saying like they've also cut all of them. That was never going to happen. Golden is one of the biggest pop culture things of the year.
yes,
And Sinners way too many nominations, and that song is from a scene that is considered one of the best scenes of the year too. The I Lied to You song is from the montage, the music montage dream sequence in the middle. So yeah. Did they have any? Were there any songs performed? Oh no, I don't think there were. I think it was just
last year.
Defying Gravity, right? Did they have any song performances last year?
They do El
That I
Mal
remember.
from
No,
El
I don't
Mal,
think so.
the
I think
hit
the
from-
only thing that got performed was Defying
The song
Gravity
where
to
she's
open the
like,
show.
penis and vagina.
You know what they should do? They should bring back they should have the orchestra expanded, and then when they do the best picture presentations, you know, when they like throughout the show are like, here's Train Dreams. Have the orchestra on stage play their score.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Well, a lot of things they wouldn't do for such a time. Piece of shit.
Because there were some performances in the last couple years, right? Like you had Natu Natu from RRR was performed. They had that awesome dance on stage. Barbie, obviously, the one that didn't win was the one that most people remember, the I'm Just Ken with Ryan Gosling. But yeah, this is only gonna get to Diane Warren. I'm starting to think it's not gonna happen for her. So she's been nominated. I'm starting to think she's not gonna win this year. Because she's now on a streak too. I think that's now.
Who keeps nominating her? Like, who are these people? Are they doing it like because the voting people have gotten younger?
Mhm.
So are these people doing it now out of like?
Well, Diane, you may not know this, but she throws great parties in Hollywood. Like great
Yeah.
parties.
last
Mushroom
year that
bowls
she-
filled with mushrooms at the door and cocaine. Like you come to D-Dub's house if you want to get fucked up.
The last year she wasn't nominated was 2016. She's been nominated every year except for 2016, dating back to 2014.
And she always loses.
That's
And how
I
many
mean,
of those movies? How many of those movies have been real, by the way? Like legitimate movies.
I think we've done this. I'm going to read through
Yeah.
them again. 2014 was Beyond
Cheetos.
the Lights.
Yep, not real.
2015 was The Hunting Ground, which was a documentary. 2017 was Marshall, Chadwick Boseman, is Thurgood Marshall. RBG was the next year, 2018. Breakthrough, which is I think the Chrissy Metz
Yeah, the one with the
movie
ice.
from Angel Studios. The Life Ahead, Four Good Days, which I know Glenn Close was in that. Tell It Like a Woman in 2022. The Flamin' Hot movie, the Cheetos movie from a few years ago, and then last year was the 6888, the Tyler Perry war drama. Oh man.
And so not a single real existing movie except for the Hulu Cheetos movie, basically. So like it's kind of like the issue here. Like pick
We'll
a
say it
real
every
movie.
time. She should have won for I Don't Want to Miss a Thing.
Yeah.
She got snubbed. Fair.
I don't think she should have. Was that the year? Was it Elliott Smith won that year for Good Will Hunting? Was that same year?
For what song?
Best original song that year was When You Believe from the Prince of Egypt.
Oh, okay. Then I'm fine with her winning.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I agree, Jeff. We can give her the trophy.
Yeah.
It was a good song, whatever it's
Actually, it's kind of crazy that That'll Do by Randy Newman didn't win from Babe, Pig in the City.
Well, that movie was a disaster, though.
Shout out Randy Newman though. What a legend.
Babe in the City.
George Miller. That movie is a insane story with that movie.
Randy Newman, kind of a sneaky big time loser, but he's won twice. He won for We Belong Together from Toy Story 3. And then he had the song from 2001 for Monsters Inc. If I Didn't Have You. Kind of, he didn't win for You've Got a Friend in Me, which I feel like that's one of those ones where you look back,
crazy.
it's like,
It's nuts.
yeah, he lost though. He lost to another Disney movie there. He lost to Colors of the Wind from Pocahontas. But I think You've Got a Friend is a better song.
Yes.
I think that's a much more iconic song. All right, what would you been watching? Klemmer and I are going to talk real quick about what's going to be at the bottom of my list for movies of the year. Definitely at the end, when we get to the end of the year, and that is Return to Silent Hill, a shameful, disgusting video game adaptation of a movie. I mean, just sets the movement of video game adaptations back 5 years at least. I hated this movie. I gave it a 6 out of 100. It stinks. This movie fucking stinks. Terrible.
I'm with you, Jeff. I think about the same with you. Like definitely single digits. I gave 5 movies a trash label last year, or a half star on Letterboxd. This is getting 1 this year. This is how bad. I saw 170 movies last year. That's how bad this is. The CGI in this movie is so horrible. It's you almost have to. I almost am telling people to go see this because it's such a shitty, horrible, ugly, poorly acted. There's nothing redeemable about this movie. Here's how dumb this movie is. The whole movie is this guy goes to this Silent Hill, this shitty, burned out town that used to be good or nice looking, to find his ex-girlfriend. He finds the actress plays multiple roles in this movie. So he sees this person who looks exactly the same as his ex-girlfriend and doesn't recognize her. And it all tries to do with the conceit of, oh, it's just a dream. Everything's a dream. It's so dumb. It's so horrible. It sucks your soul away. There's nothing compelling or good about this movie. It literally makes you... The CGI in this movie is so bad that I wish CGI never existed. Now, without CGI, we never get Jurassic. We never get Jurassic Park.
Not
without CGI.
quite as bad as in The Lost Lands. I actually gave it a 3, but I did not give it a 6. I was reading something completely different. I gave it a 3. I mean, at this point, it's just splitting hairs at this point. But
I'm willing to trade Jurassic Park for getting rid of CGI, so Silent Hill and The Lost Lands don't exist.
Wow. It's this was like unbelievably bad. I could not believe this one.
Bad.
I thought it was like it's at least going to be like 30s, 20s, like terrible, but like Five Nights at Freddy's type thing. I'm like, whatever, fans I guess will like it. No, this is like you're lying if you say you like this movie. Like that's where I am with this.
The whole movie is CGI, and the CGI is so atrocious. It makes honestly The Wrecking Crew look like an Oscar-winning movie, like production was.
The one thing I've kept seeing from it, I don't know if you guys had pointed it out, the guy with the fake beard. That's the one thing I've keep seeing from this is the dude has an egregiously fake beard throughout the movie, which that's
no, not throughout the movie. That's in different times in the movie.
Oh,
but
gotcha,
yes,
gotcha.
it is insanely fake beard. It basically has a merkin on his face. This movie sucks.
I never liked those games, but people always did resonate with them as being like kind of like very spooky. But maybe it's just better as a game.
The games are well received. This has nothing to do with the game.
Yeah.
This movie is just terrible on its own.
Yeah. I think I'm checking this one out.
It is. I will say, I am a little concerned about the future of franchise filmmaking when you can very clearly see that video game adaptations are like, they're coming. They're coming. Nothing you can do to stop them. A lot of video games are not well written. They are not made for movies or TV shows or really any kind of adaptation. They're made to be played.
Japanese ones too. JRPGs are like, and not even just JRPGs, but like Japanese-based video games. They have like a very different sense of writing in a lot of ways. Like I don't think you could ever make a Metal Gear Solid movie. Like I don't think there's a lot of ones where I don't know if they would translate at all. And Silent Hill, I believe, is one of them.
The trailer for the movie I know refers to the director as a visionary director.
It was a vision. It was a vision.
Christoph
needed glasses.
Christoph Gans, yep.
The Moment, Gooch, I'll let you start with that because I saw The Moment as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't say pleasantly surprised, but I was kind of shocked on what it ended up being because I went in with the notion that it would be more or less a Spinal Tap ripoff, mockumentary style, really poking fun at herself and just the touring of an artist. But it's a pretty straight drama through and through. There are funny moments, but it's a smart, well-written drama that is very interested in what it is to be a celebrity or an artist in the 2020s, and kind of the dissection of virality and the moment, and how long can something last in this, constant churn news cycle, and when it becomes cool or uncool, and how that relates to the art itself, and the fact that this was kind of made in the moment of like while she was on top and she's killing it. She kills, the whole Brat Summer thing in the film. It's really smart movie. Like, I was kind of blown away, and it looks great. Like, really looks good.
Yeah, a lot of
Don't go in expecting a concert film.
Yeah, no, not which is kind of what I expected. Like, I only saw the first trailer and I was like, what the fuck is this? She's a big movie person. She's logged this movie now, I think 15 times on Letterboxd. She's got like a very well known like Letterboxd. This was we'll talk. I guess we'll talk about it more next week. But I really enjoyed the moment. I thought it was different, not what I expected. Again, and like I was about to say, a lot of care put into like making this feel different, real. I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be, and then we can move on. We can talk much more in depth on it next week. I thought it was going to be like the movie from last year.
The Weekend movie.
The Weekend.
Hurry Up Tomorrow.
Oh,
Hurry Up Tomorrow, which is one of the greatest things ever made, by the way. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. That's one of the greatest scenes, the line deliveries of all time.
Barry Keoghan's in that movie just to kiss his ass the whole movie.
It's so bad. It's so fucking bad. Gooch, you also saw Wonder Man, which Kenjac, you finished as well. I finished it. Awesome show.
really, really, really liked it. I think that I think we talked about it when we initially just like our first 3 episodes that we had seen, or whatever first 3 episodes we had seen. I have no idea how regular people would react to it. I think what I expected came to fruition, and that like most cinephiles, and I would say people that are like just into TVs and movies in general, really do seem to like it, and they're resonating with it, and like, wow, this is like an interesting, new, different thing, and they like it. I don't know that I've heard anyone else like a normie, so to speak, and to it in a cringy way, but like speak about it in any sort of way. And maybe that's what ends up happening. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But I liked it a lot. It reminded me a lot of we were talking about Sam Mendes earlier, the franchise, except it was, I think, a little bit more accessible, and I enjoyed it a lot. I liked Abdul-Mateen was great. Most of the cast is great. Joey Pants, goddamn, well, what a cameo from our boy there. Good Lord, that was fun.
Every time. I won't. This is not like a joke spoiler, but every time somebody recognizes Trevor Slattery as the Mandarin, I get a hearty laugh every time. I'm like, holy fucking shit, you're the Mandarin. And everybody just gets me. Like, I think it's like it shows like a really like meta, self-aware way of going about that movie. Or going about the show. I really enjoy the show. The middle episode, the Doorman, is like one of the best things Marvel's done ever. Honest to God. Like, I don't think that's an exaggeration. Like, it's so different. It's so unique. It's an awesome episode of that show, and great commentary on kind of their own universe and just comic book universes in general. I really enjoyed it. It was a good show.
It's a good show, and it feels like feels like they turned all the production over to the FX Studios side of things. It looks and feels like an FX series, which is a compliment, because I think FX for a long stretch was right there in the mix with HBO, the premier television. And I wish that, just watching it, I just couldn't help but wish that all their television products looked like this.
Good, smart, patient ending too.
Yeah, written well, and I think it's at its best when it holds off from any kind of metahuman powers. I think it's really restrained in that respect, and makes it, when he does use powers, that much more effective. I was concerned all the way up until the end. I was like, hopefully this doesn't fall off a cliff like so many, Marvel series and superhero series before it. Stayed true all the way to the end. I will say, Destin Daniel Cretton, creator on this, Spider-Man better look good. Spider-Man better look good, or else then we gotta sit down and have a chat, Kevin Feige, Amy Pascal, on letting your directors cook, because this man's got talent. Let him make. They
apparently a lot of Spider-Man Brand New Day is practical. Like they did a lot of like on-set stunts, like in the street, like with cars and rigs and everything. So
all the set
which
photos
again,
were
that's
awesome.
Kind of is my big hope with Marvel this year, and we should be seeing Doomsday full thing soon. Is that apparently still a lot of stuff on set with Doomsday too. It's not as much green screen, blue screen, whatever, like they did for Endgame, Infinity War. So we'll see if that ends up being fruition. That's what they said. So we'll see. We mentioned the other week. We have a lot of trailers to talk about. I think next week, which could see some first looks at some things that we haven't seen yet. Spider-Man being one of them. I don't think we're going to see much of. I think the Odyssey we've seen kind of all we're going to see now, probably until closer to release, because Nolan kind of just dumps. Right, he kind of just dumps them all out in like December-ish, January, and it's kind of all you see the rest of the way. Though we have seen on TV, they showed that one TV trailer where you see Travis Scott's speaking line in the Odyssey. That's a real thing, by the way. We're not making that up. Which it was some clips from it was the first time I've seen a lot of clips from the IMAX trailer for the Odyssey. They repurposed it for the TV. Dune, I don't know when we'll see. Dune could be a little while. That is a year, still almost a full year away. Anything else anyone watched? Like I said, Shelter was stupid. Klemmer?
Shelter was stupid. Like, it's just you're rooting for a kidnapper the whole time. Which is weird. He basically kind of like imprisons.
Shout out Rick
way.
Roman though. We just saw 2 movies from him in the span of the last 3 weeks. He also did Greenland 2. And he did this slop.
And both is like depressing slop. And both have a plot point where a middle-aged man is in charge of a young teenage girl. Just saying. Kind of weird. So Superman 2, Super Critics, that's the movie we're watching this week. Thank God. By the way, Jeff, you said you liked Flash Gordon? You have Flash Gordon 4 stars.
I love the OG Flash Gordon.
Oh, we hated it. Well, I hated it. Robbie didn't like it. We go into that in the last Super Critics episode. I think it's maybe one of the worst superhero movies ever made.
Really, I really enjoy the OG Flash Gordon for exactly what it is. But
if you want to hear us trash the movie, check that out. And Superman 2 said come out Thursday, and then Rad Race comes out on Monday.
That's right.
Monday night. Rad Race San Francisco. Check it out.
Shout out Klemmer. Watch Klemmer's show. Should be on the Barstool Sports channel. Anything else? Fallout was solid this week, but I didn't love the previous episode. I kind of was more where Kenjac was. I thought the previous episode to this past week's Fallout was like kind of a letdown and all over the place and not enjoyable, which was a shame because I'd liked most of the season. Got a little bit back on track in this last one, but wasn't a huge fan. The flashback and interweaving of different, it's a little scatterbrained for me.
Yeah, I think in my biggest thing coming away from the season is still I wish they stayed instead of going to New Vegas too early, because that would have been a great like season 3 thing. And I think the lore is so rich and I feel like I've been like repeating this over and over again. The lore is so rich in New Vegas that I feel like if you just give that enough time to develop, you can get something. But it's really rushing through shit, and I don't particularly love that. But it is what it is. And otherwise, outside of that, I'd say the actual main storyline is still interesting, but it's just not on the same level as season 1, at least for me.
Anything else I want to watch?
Not a thing I watched, but a news item that I'd be remiss not to bring up. Something you guys won't care about, I don't think, but in 3 years will be a huge deal, and that is that Apple TV picked up the rights to the Brandon Sanderson universe of literature, which is going to be a massive, massive fantasy, just everything. They have a trilogy already planned, a full series, lots of stuff with the author having full final say. A huge, huge deal. It's something that's been like, people have been wondering for about a decade now who he would turn the rights over to, and Apple getting it, I think, is
much
big.
better it be Apple for any sort of fantasy thing, I think, than a lot of other streamers that are out there. I think especially if you go look at something like what Prime did with Circle, or was it the fuck's thing they did with Rosamund
Wheel
Pike?
of Time.
Wheel of Time, Circle of Time. Like the Wheel of like they were like, this is the big thing. This is like the proto Game of Thrones. Like this is gonna be the biggest fantasy property ever, and it just kind of stunk because they didn't really know seemingly know what to do with it. But yeah, so I think that if you're getting Apple, you're getting something that at least I think will give you the resources and also the artistic freedom to do the right thing. But also this is going to depend, and I don't know the books at all, but who takes over, because I feel like that's been a big issue with a lot of fantasy stuff lately. Is you get a lot of people that don't have reverence for source material and don't get why things work, and they're just there to make things work efficiently, which isn't the way to make, I think, good art.
No. Shout out to Cosmere, though. Fellas, you already know what time it is. It's time to level up, and BlueChew just dropped something crazy. I'm talking next level championship belt gold-plated energy. BlueChew Gold is the newest innovation from the #1 chewable ED brand. This ain't your grandpa's little blue pill. This is the 4-in-1 beast that's setting the gold standard for performance. We're talking 2 ingredients for blood flow to keep that rocket pumping, mixed with apomorphine and oxytocin to turn up the arousal and connection in your brain and body. BlueChew Gold dissolves under your tongue and works in as little as 15 minutes. That means you can get it on quicker and stay in the game longer. Elevation without hesitation. This is peak passion and peak performance in a single tablet. If your bed could talk after this, it'd be asking for a break. Make life easier by getting harder and discover your options at BlueChew.com. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Get 10% off your first month of BlueChew Gold with code BIGSCREEN. That's promo code BIGSCREEN. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank BlueChew for sponsoring the podcast.
Top 10 list time. Most annoying. We're going to stress that heavily. It's not worst character to be stuck on an island with. Most annoying characters to be stuck with. Because if you do, I think one of you said, I don't know who said it. Well, if you do worse, then it's like, okay, who can pick the worst murderer? Or it's like, it kind of defeats the person. So just most annoying. Who's the most annoying person, character you can be stuck on an island with? Klemmer, you have number 1.
Okay, I think this is a pretty clear 1-1. The most annoying character in film history, Jar Jar Binks. Like, I mean,
are you kidding me?
That
He'd be a
hatred runs
great.
deep for,
He'd be a great time. He's joyful. He's
annoy
positive. He's thankful. He worships you.
Macon.
No,
He's amphibious.
He ruined those movies so quick. His screen time isn't incredibly long, but just the sheer presence of him in only 5-10 minutes was enough to turn everyone's stomach. I cannot. He, especially being that positive on a desert island for that long, would drive you fucking insane. I think you'd end up eating him. I think you'd end up having like Jar Jar Binks like burgers by after a couple weeks. You'd have.
It looks like he tastes good.
I wonder it would, but like he is just so horribly annoying.
Is this because you didn't get credited as the voice actor behind Jar Jar Binks?
I don't sound like Jar Jar. I don't think. He's more.
If you put on a patois accent,
If you did,
He's
it
more
would
like
work.
upper than I am. Yeah, I don't think I sound like him. I definitely have an annoying voice, but not quite as horrible as Jar Jar Binks.
I don't hate this pick. He is. I mean, he's annoying. Like, there's been a reclamation of the character, but goddamn, he was something.
He was very annoying.
I mean, he was on my list as well. He's terrible. I mean, he's terrible. He's a terrible. Nothing is redeemed. I don't want to hear about Darth, this stupid Darth Jar Jar shit. I don't care about any of that. The character stinks. Ahmed Best shouldn't have been bullied. People shouldn't have been sending him threats, but the character stinks.
No.
He's annoying. He's an annoying character. You'd build a shelter, and he'd knock the shelter down. He'd whack it over. He'd fall into it.
Yes.
If you want to live with someone who does cartoonish pratfalls every 5 seconds, he'd be a great person to be stuck with. You get a couple laughs in the first few days.
Yes, but then like you would turn to he would just be under your skin so quickly.
Gen X's hatred for him runs a lot deeper than ours, I think, for the most part.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, we waited so long for those movies, and we get there, and we're seeing him run around. That was a tough moment. It was tough walking out of that theater that day.
God, I can't even imagine.
I loved it. Oh, I thought it was so funny. That's such a dumb kid. Jar Jar Binks pretty easy. 1-1. Number 2, I have number 2. Though this would have been my 1-1 though, because I actually think this is worse, and I actually think that we'll see if you agree with this, Klemmer, that you might have whiffed on not taking this 1-1, and that is the Jared Leto Joker. Now, this one might be a bit of a cheat, because it has to be factored in that it's Jared Leto. Like there's like, this may not count, but there's a little bit of off-screen behind the scenes that goes into it. Because didn't he eat like? Am I now mixing up roles? Didn't he eat olive oil and ice cream for this role? Or was that Dallas Buyers?
That's a different role.
That was for the, what do you call it, David Chapman.
David Chapman.
No, didn't he send his co-stars like dead animals?
Yes, he sent dead animals. Like, that's the thing, is like, this character, even if he doesn't murder you, like let's say he doesn't murder. Let's say he's like, look, this life sucks. Like, I got to survive here. I'm not going to kill you. He would still, like, when you go hunt, he'd cut off like the boar's head and he'd stick it. Like he's a piece of shit. He's an asshole. He's weird. He'd be more worried. Like you would boil your water, your drinking water, but then he would ruin it by like washing his jewelry in it and stuff. That's what he would do.
He's the survivor comp of the person that like throws the rice in the woods.
Yes,
like he would fuck your shit up. Like you have a nice shelter, and the next day like all the palm fronds would be gone. He'd be just giggling. It's like, all right, well, that's our roof, dumbass. Yeah, he would suck. Yes, I still think Jar Jar's worse, but Joker's a very good number 2.
Remember at the end of Zack Snyder's Justice League when they had that like addendum in like the nightmare world, and Joker like asked to give Batman a hand job. He's like, "Oh, Batsy, I'll give you a reach around if you want."
Yeah. He's. I mean, he would suck. Can I read something really quick from? I couldn't find it in the script. I just found it. My favorite back and forth of Jar Jar Binks and this George Lucas wrote this. Anakin, hey Jar Jar, stay away from those energy binders. Jar Jar, who? Misa? Anakin, if your hand gets caught in the beam, it's gonna go numb for hours. Jar Jar, okie day. What an unbelievable. he wrote that
next.
Yeah. Anyway, Jared Leto Joker, very annoying. And again, it's a little bit of a cheat here because I'm factoring in the off-screen stuff. But what an obnoxious character.
I'm trying to think more like Jar Jar is aquatic, right? Like he can go underwater and he has gills, I think. So
yeah, he would help you a little bit. He would definitely catch fish, but then he'd also like eat them by accident, right? You'd be like, "Oops, I swallowed it."
Yeah. Or get you poisonous fish or something like that.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Gooch, you have number 3.
The last word you hear is "me sorry."
Oh,
as your face swells up.
Worst last words to ever hear at your bedside.
Number 3, a Academy Award winning character, and that is the whale.
Damn, that was my pick, you bitch.
The whale, being stuck on the island with the fucking whale, fat, gross, useless, sad, just weepy, fucking pervert. Like, just what am I gonna do with that? Like, there's nothing. Like, and have to look at him. Ugh. No, I think this would be my nightmare. Like, just someone who like legitimately is a net negative, without even like trying to antagonize me.
And everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Damn, that was my pick. I was so excited for him too.
I didn't even think about. That's a great pick. I didn't even think about the whale.
That's so funny.
He's fucking useless. You have to care for him 24/7. He's just sitting there cranking off to gay porn the entire time. He can't hunt. He can't fish. He can't like make a fire. He can't do anything. He's useless.
He's miserable. He's always
My daughter
sad.
hates me. Oh.
There's nothing you can do with the whale. There's literally nothing. Damn.
Like even if he died, and like you have to like resort to cannibalism. Would you want to eat? Like you're not gonna eat the whale.
No, that is rotten flesh.
He would eat you.
He wouldn't last that long. He'd last me a few days.
He can't eat you. Although
just ascend into the heavens.
I wonder what would happen. Like if he's on the island for long enough, like would he get skinny, or would it be like Hurley and Lost, where he just stays like inexplicably large despite them being starving?
Yeah, that's probably it.
Oh fuck, Hurley and Lost was great though. Damn.
Yeah, but he was cool.
Yeah, Hurley was cool. He
wasn't a weepy like.
Yeah, he was fun to be around.
He was. Damn. I got to rewatch Lost again. This is fucking, I loved Hurley. 4, 18, 15, 16, 23, 42. Okay, I think I would do for my next one. Whale is my 1-1, so that kind of throws a wrench in my plans. I'll go with Lin-Manuel Miranda and Mary Poppins. I think that he is one of the most annoying characters I've ever come across in a movie because it's a self-insert, right? Like that character, the fucking BMX chimney sweep bullshit is so fucking annoying in that movie. And what do you do with an old-timey Latin American English chimney sweep on a deserted island? What are you going to do with that man? How is he going to help you? And you can give him the BMX bike. I don't care. Do whatever you want. I don't know what you do with that man. And I feel like being stuck with Lin-Manuel Miranda would actually be more annoying than being stuck with in-character Jared Leto.
Never forget the Moana rap he did before the best original song performance at the Oscars. Had nothing to do with the song, by the way. Not in the song, not in the movie. He just like, I'm gonna come out and rap for a second.
So do you remember that? Do you remember that chimney sweep the BMX sequence in that movie? How fucking stupid that was.
Only upstaged by a really annoying cameo by Meryl Streep.
That's right. Damn, I forgot about that. I might even picked her. That was she's like a soothsayer or some shit. Fuck.
She played Mary's cousin, Tatiana Anastasia Kosatori Tapaturlovsky.
So dumb.
Might be your next pick.
And which sucks too, because Emily Blunt was legit good in that movie.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of like just generally kind of annoying characters, and I think that the next one would be the accountant. I think Ben Affleck's the accountant would actually be a pretty tough one to be stuck on an island with for multiple reasons, but one of which being like I don't know if survival skills falls underneath his like umbrella of like brain things, you know what I mean? So if he doesn't have that, he's useless, but he's also like a mega type A doer. So you're going to be outdone by him on everything, which might not sound bad, but I feel like if the switch flips in his head where he's like, I'm just going to kill you, he will just kill you and eat you because he's like, oh, the logic says I need to kill you and eat you in order to survive. And that I don't want on my hands either. So I think the accountant, he's also very blunt and rude. So I think that also hurts as well. You can't really be friends with him.
He would micromanage all your shit too.
He's quiet though.
He's rude as fuck. And if you're stuck in an island with him and like, again, the second he thinks like, oh, it is no longer economic proficient for me to go and hunt for food, he's going to eat you.
Yeah, but like we kind of said we're not going to worry about like getting killed in this thing.
That's true. Even if you take away the kill thing, I still think he's very fucking annoying.
I don't want to hang out with the accountant, but like so far he's by far the best option we've had in this list.
Yeah, versus a fictional frogman and a chimney sweep, I guess though. But.
What about the accountant too? If it was, would you still have him on the list? Because he has a little personality in the new one.
But that's only because it's his brother. You're not his brother.
That's true. Let me tell you something, man.
Hey, let me tell you something, man.
God. Let me tell you something.
Someone found that line in the Odyssey. Let me tell you something. Or let me say this or something like that. You see that?
Let me tell you something. Can't wait.
Gooch,
Number 6.
You have 6.
Yeah, so the first pick was The Whale, overly weepy. I think the other side of that also could be an issue, overly positive, overly enthusiastic, and that's why I have Buddy the Elf. Buddy the Elf would be too much on an island. Too fucking much. Just way too much. Also,
he is so resourceful.
In terms of making things that would not help me. Celebrate, like, am I going to celebrate Christmas on this island?
He's a craftsman. He's a woodworker, basically.
He's not good. He gets moved to the fucking back of the factory because he cannot work the construction line.
He's not good by elf standards.
He's not good relative to their he's not good to their relative production of like efficiency. He's good at he built that rocking horse.
I think he's useless without a rubber mallet and a pair of scissors. I don't think he can do anything.
That's fair. He doesn't have the tools, but then he build the tool.
He's probably gonna be eating all the fruit, talking about his fucking blood sugar.
That's true. That is a problem. He has a very specific diet. That is true.
That would be too much for me. Like, I need someone that I could just be like, this fucking sucks. And the guy next to me goes, yeah, this is fucking terrible. And I don't think Buddy would ever give me that. He would just be like, no, it's okay. We just need a little cheer up with some Christmas carols. I want to throw myself into the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
See, you don't appreciate his craftsmanship like myself, Kenjac, and Klemmer do. You want the impossible. You want the elf speeds that he just can't give you. You want your shelter built in minutes.
Give me Papa Elf. Give me Papa Elf. He'd be nice.
He would be very annoying, though. He would be very annoying. That's very true. All right, next up, I'm gonna go with one of Kenjac's favorites. I'm gonna go with Know-It-All, the kid from Polar Express, the kid on the train that just talks. That's one of the worst. It's one of the worst things of all time.
God, he was fucking annoying. Yeah, Squidward. That's not even what he says, but it's what he sounds like.
You want to hear Sicko Mode or Mo Bamba?
Yeah, that was such a good tweet. That's one of the ones that AI could never replicate.
Oh God.
It's like he is. You would have a hard time not doing something drastic to him. Like you would have to. You have to send him afloat at best, and be like, just please go, please leave. He is.
You'd have to care for him too, which makes that so much worse. Like you need to sustain his living, otherwise you essentially kill a child. So that's gonna be very tough.
Oh my God, Know-It-All.
I don't think you can consider those gross Robert Zemeckis CGI creations even human beings.
Soulless eyes, blank stares.
Fucking caring for Beowulf.
Klemmer, you have
watched the trailer for Beowulf the other day. That was a crazy moment.
So bad.
You have 2 more picks.
Okay. Not back to back though, right? Or
Not
are
back
they?
to back. You have number 8 now.
All right. So this is the character that I think had the most visceral hatred when I saw this movie. I have to pick this person. Melissa McCarthy in Identity Thief. She plays Diana. She's supposed to be like an annoying person. I get that. But the level of hatred I had watching this person with Jason Bateman, who's very likable, in just a pretty harmless comedy. It should never make you want to like punch a wall. But this movie brought me to like levels of anger that I haven't had maybe since my like divorce. That's how much I hated this Melissa McCarthy character in Identity Thief.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I think you're missing a worse character of hers.
I don't know which one.
Fucking Tammy.
Oh,
I don't know if I saw that.
Oh, okay.
Or
I think if you'd
Fort
seen it, I think you would have picked. But this one also
I haven't
stinks.
seen Tammy. I haven't seen Identity Thief. That was like bone curdling for me, like skin crawling. I hated her so much. It really got caught in the movie. I know she's supposed to be annoying, so maybe she's just brilliant at doing that. But I've never hated a character more in film. I cannot imagine spending 10 minutes with her in an elevator, much less a desert island.
Yeah, was it Thunder Force? The one we always call Fart Cop? That might have been the worst one. That I think that might take you over the edge. Or what was the one where she's like in that, is it Jexy? No, that's the one with there's one where she has like an artificial intelligence and it's very bad. It's all these movies that her husband directs. That are dog
Yeah,
shit.
they blend together. There's the one where like Jason Bateman's a lobster, or has like a claw.
lobster hands,
They blend. Identity Thief, she's really annoying. This is a good pick, but I think Tammy beats her out a little bit. Tammy's bad. Tammy's a bad movie.
You may be right. I can't watch it though, Joe. I'm sorry. I can't do this myself. I can't be capable. I can't be accountable for what I would do if I saw this movie. I think.
I'm responsible for my actions if I watch it.
Right. I got McCarthy. I can't be responsible.
Oh my god, Identity movie I forgot about. Kenjac, you have next pick.
I think I will go with and this is kind of a chalky pick, but like I'm trying to think of other ones because I had my good 3. But I think the next one would probably be Chris Tucker in Fifth Element, right? Like that's like one of the chalkiest, most annoying characters of all time.
It's a great pick.
That's a really good pick.
He sucked so. And again, it'd be like you just said with Melissa McCarthy. It's the point of the character is to be annoying as shit. But man, is he annoying as shit. He's so fucking annoying. Maybe even brilliantly so. But imagine being stuck on him with that fucking leotard, like the leopard print leotard, and that stupid hair, just screaming his head off the entire time. I assume in the situation he has a working mic with like an infinite battery for whatever reason. And just man, that would be pure misery. I think he's got to be up there.
I'm trying to remember what was his name in that movie. He was like a
Ruby Rod.
Yeah. God.
Ruby Rod.
There's a lot of Chris Tucker characters that could fit this bill, and I like his performing. Like I like his comedy and everything, but good luck. He might be a little overbearing.
Yeah. Here's the bit.
What else to me?
Klemmer, last pick.
So this is an amazing performance. So this is not at all a discredit against the actress, but just this character is so horrible. And it's Helene McGrady in Gone Baby Gone, Amy Ryan's character.
Wow.
That person is so deplorable and so horrible that I cannot imagine spending any time with that person at all. And it's a brilliant performance by her to be that, because it's so well acted. Like I think Amy Ryan's brilliant, but I hate this person. Like I hate this person so much.
That's a kind of inspired pick. I kind of like that. Like, what would she help you with at all? Like, what would she do that would not be immediately backstabbing?
Remember, she complains about everything.
Yeah.
She's constantly bitching and moaning about everything. Doesn't lift a finger to do anything. And you can't trust her. She'd do all the food. Like, she would do everything. And then she also would, like, she'd pull some of the Jared Leto shit. Like, she'd fuck with you. Like, just to cause chaos. She's an agent of chaos in that way. And she's obviously not nurturing. We know that from the movie. So if you ever got hurt, she wouldn't help you. She is horrific.
Mm-hmm. That's a really good pick, I think.
Yeah, there was one or two that I debated in terms of extra picks. Good list. I had Jim Carrey, the Riddler. He's so over the top. He's just like, all right, dude.
Too much buffoonery.
Small, but he is an inventor though. But he's not a good inventor. I obviously one of our favorites, Grandpa Joe, but it's tough to pick Grandpa Joe because now you know he can walk, so it's like the ruse is up. But then another one would be Cousin Eddie from the Vacation movies, because Cousin Eddie smells. He's useless. He's annoying. He doesn't take a hint. I was trying to. I couldn't think of enough smelly characters, like characters who stink. Because like you're already gonna smell to begin with, because like you're on an eye. But like ones who are already unpleasant, like their unpleasantness overdoes how already unpleasant the situation is. So Cousin Eddie was on there.
Oh God.
Not smelly, but Ben Platt and what was that musical adaptation? Just imagine him just sweating on a desert island.
Oh, he was all wet.
Just
the
turning
wet
into,
movie.
Yeah.
I had
Dear Evan Hansen.
I had Robin Wright in here. She's so miserable the whole time.
I'll take the movie here.
You would just like jump off that like mountaintop if you were there. Also, I had Woody Harrelson, and Now You See Me Too, when he plays the twin, not the actual character, but the twin was like a horrible person. And then Spike Fern, that's Ella McKay, Ella McKay's brother. Not someone I want to spend any time with.
Love a good Ella McKay reference. What a movie. Coming out on physical media very soon for those who want to watch it forever.
Yeah. I think you have a good point, by the way, on Ace Ventura. I think you could put most Jim Carrey characters under this umbrella. Like Ace Ventura on an island, that would suck. Like,
be horrible.
It'd be. He wouldn't even let you eat an animal.
Yeah, he would become feral.
Yeah. Like most of his characters, especially even in like the Cable Guy, imagine being stuck with him on an island. Oh shit, that might have been. Damn it.
Be obsessed with you the whole time.
Cable Guy,
Eternal Sunshine. You're just like, dude.
Yeah.
Cheer up a little bit, buddy. I also had Jerry Maguire. I think that might be a controversial pick, but I love him. A little too manic. Like there's a lot of Tom Cruise characters like that where I love them, but being stuck with them for like days on end, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. It's a good point. Like, I'm trying to think like, Lieutenant Dan, that'd be a tough one.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do with him? You can't help him.
He's like negatively funny though. Like he's got like a sharp wit. I think anybody where you have to like they can't assist, like the Whale. You know what I mean? Like they're like if they're just stuck doing nothing to help you, that's
you gotta do everything
one
for
to be
them.
stuck with.
Forrest would be good. I would love to be on an island with Forrest.
Yeah,
Forrest Gump
would be great.
Yeah, he'd be great.
Yeah,
do whatever you say.
Yep.
Just sit there, talk to you. Nice simple oaf. Hey y'all, it's Gooch. Congratulations on making it this far into Project Big Screen episode 18. No fan rankings the past couple weeks. We've been doing some, different kind of rankings that are really hard to pull in a fan vote, but we will be doing stuff in the future. And if you want to be a part of those fan rankings, it's very easy. All we need is your Letterboxd handle. And how you're going to give it to me is you're going to answer this question. Who is the last movie character you'd want to be stuck on a desert island with? Can't be somebody that's going to murder you. Just has to be someone that you think would be just terrible to be on that island with. Answer that question below, whether you're watching on YouTube, listening on Spotify, and include your Letterboxd handle. We will follow you from the Project Big Screen account, and then you will be ready to go for our fan rankings. Again, thank you so much for supporting the show. Make sure, if you're not already, make sure you're subscribed on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed wherever you listen to this podcast. And keep doing all the things that help us be successful, land big interviews, all that fun stuff. Now back to the show.
Good list. So next week, Strangers Chapter 3, The Moment, and I guess Solo Mio. We'll do a mix of that. I'm not sure what our list will be yet. We already did like a music list, so we can't do that. Oh, worst franchises, I said. Worst franchises, definitely a good one. Strangers Chapter 3 is terrible.
We've done worst franchises.
We did?
Or dumbest. We did dumbest. That's what it was.
Dumbest.
We did
Okay.
dumbest franchise.
Yeah.
We could do. We'll do something related to like franchises. We'll figure something out.
I think The Strangers was on our list for dumbest too.
Yeah, it's terrible.
We'll
do it in that space. We'll talk about it throughout the week. But those are the three movies that you have to see. I'm sorry. Solo Mio, Strangers Chapter 3. The Moment's definitely worth checking out if you can find it. But then gets a little better the week after that. Don't worry, folks. That is it for Kenjac, Gooch, Klemmer. I'm Jeff D. Lowe. We'll talk to you next time.